What's the most intense experience you've had snowboarding or skiing?
What do you mean intense?
I mean, I don't know, just like something really weird or like really like, I don't know, bad, good.
I remember one time when I was really, really little, and I was skiing with my mom and my brother, and I made it down to the bottom of the run, and I was so happy because I made it down before them. My brother's better than me, he's older than me, and he was faster. I was really stoked, and I was like waiting around, and being like, yeah. And I must have been like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then some guy comes down, and he's like, hey, like, are you Catherine? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, your brother ran into a tree up there. Like, your mom and him were waiting for the like, ski patrol.
Recently, when I went last weekend, because it had been such a long time, it was kind of nerve-wracking, and getting back onto skis was a little frightening. But my friend and I were going down a blue square, and then it ended up turning into a black diamond, and it just like freaked me out. Just knowing that it was a black diamond was just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And there were parts that were pretty icy that day, and definitely scary. And like there were some rocks in one position that I had to avoid, and like a cliff sort of thing. And it was just frightening. But I made it through, so that was good.
My most intense park moment was I was doing an A-frame, and which is like a box that's shaped like an A, and I biffed it and landed on my kidneys and had kidney bleeding, and it was just like terrible.
I've never broken a bone or anything. I fell off a lift once. I was like a foot off the ground, you know, someone got in my way, and I like slipped off, and like my board flipped out from under me, and I hurt my pinky. But I mean, that's as intense as it gets. One time I caught an edge and like hit my face, and I had braces at the time.
Oh god.
And there was a spot of blood on the snow where my head hit the ground. And I've had a couple where like it's really icy and I fall and I'm like a rag doll, and like there's spots floating in front of my eyes after I fall. But I've never had a moment where I accidentally went over some huge cliff and it was so badass.
And every time you look at the box, you're like, And then my most intense, there's this like on the face, which is like the side that faces town. So I was late to class, and we were like booking it to class, and we decided it'd be a good time to like jump this cliff.
Oh, you were skiing to class?
Yeah. We were like, shit dude, gotta go. And so we're skiing down, going to class, and we're like, oh, we'll just hit this new cliff while we're there. And we end up going to it, and I say I'll drop it first, and it ends up being a double cliff. And we've got like our school bags on and shit, but I end up like making it. I took the only good landing spot, but I made it, and then they came, but it was a really great moment.
I've had a couple falls that I like remember. Like there was one back when I was younger and I was better at snowboarding, because as I get older I get worse. And I was like gapping onto a rail into like front board, which I would never do now because I'm way too scared to do that. But I like overshot the rail completely and just landed on the ground on my heel side. So I just landed and fell backwards, and I like compressed vertebrae in my back, and that was like one of the most painful.
That's awful.
It was so scary, but I've broken bones, but it's not as bad. Like, cause I'm always like, oh shit, like, you know, it's not like.
Never broken.
I've broken here, and fractured here.
Snowboarding?
Yeah, all snowboarding.
Yeah, there always arm injuries when it's snowboarding. People fuck their legs up.
I fucked my knee up too, but I don't know if it's just from snowboarding.
I've had a friend break both of her legs while snowboarding.
No!
Both of them. Yeah, she was in a wheelchair for like months.
This bitch that we've been talking about taking, but we haven't, but it was kind of scary. Or, oh my god, probably, I went to Crystal with my parents, or where'd we go? Oh, we went to Wenatchee, and it was super icy conditions because it was over spring break and the mountains were open late that year, and so there was a lot of sun, which had just been like turning the snow to slush and then freezing it and turning it to slush and freezing it again overnight. So pretty much every hill was ice, and I was going too fast and I caught an edge and
Yeah.
I fell on just this really steep run and like slid probably a solid 300 feet down
my
the
God.
mountain on my tailbone and like
Wow.
fractured my tailbone.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, it was just intense because I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, crap, like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then another time, I guess injuries are the most intense
Yeah.
usually. But when I was really young, when I was skiing, I was going down a bunch of moguls, which are like bumps on
Right.
the hillside.
Yeah.
I was going down a bunch of moguls, caught an edge again, fell, and really messed my knee up. And the ski patrol had to come up and like put me in the toboggan.
Oh,
And I
God.
just remember riding down the hill on my back, like, just that, it's just like a really bizarre feeling to like go sort of tobogganing downhill on your back and then getting down around by the ski lodge
Yeah.
where everyone was having lunch and stuff, and like
Yeah.
having just people peer over me while I'm
Oh.
strapped into this sled.